Hi, this is G.H. Glade for Coaching ADD and the Stimulus-Driven Brain. Today we're going to talk about something called batching. And it was no accident I put a batch of cookies on the thumbnail for this video. I'll ask you a simple question that's really a no-brainer. Is it more efficient to make one cookie at a time or cook a whole batch of a dozen at a time? Well, we all know the answer. That's a silly question. At the end of the video, I am going to ask you another question because I want you to weigh in on this. I want you to do some thinking about the question that I'm going to ask you that's somewhat related to batching. Well, what is batching? Batching groups similar tasks to speed completion. It's intentional time and an intentional task being done. It's basically time management. And the advantage with batching is severalfold. The reality is it allows you to increase your concentration and reduce distraction. Now, I use batching in my professional life a lot. We'll take a look at this. Yep, there's my mail just sitting there. It's waiting. It's waiting. I'm not even going to address my mail till I'm done batching my current task. You may notice that I'm wearing the same shirt in a number of videos. Well, it's not because I never change my shirt. I'm doing a bunch of videos all at once. I'm batching them. It's a lot more efficient way to work. Now, many people have sort of taken apart the myth of multitasking. Multitasking simply doesn't exist. It takes up to 15 minutes to fully refocus once you've been distracted from a task. And that's a lot of time to waste. Now, what happens when we have to do a number of tasks and we have to switch, and when we let other people's priorities supersede our own by responding to emails and texts and phone calls, we increase our level of fatigue because it takes energy to keep refocusing back to the original task. So I'll give you an example, and that'll lend itself to the question I want you to weigh in. One of the typical tasks I have to do every day, and I block out time to even check these things, are phone calls, emails, and faxes. I will have to respond to those. I will do this 3 times a day. I do it at the start of my day, when I'm setting up my day. I see if there's anything out there that I need to respond to before I start seeing clients. I do it at the middle of the day. I look at email, phone, I check all those sort of tasks. I batch it all together. And I do a subset of batching with all my faxes. It is not unusual for me to have 6 or 7 medication refill requests at one time. Oftentimes, I'll leave these till the end of the day when I have my wrap up. During that time, I'll take care of all of my requests for medication refills at one time. Now, here's the question I want you to weigh in. Let's take this aspect of, for me, refilling a medication request. First, I need to pick up the request. Second, I need to either call it in, write a prescription, e-scribe it in, but I need to, in some way, create and deliver the prescription. The third thing I need to do is I need to enter it into the person's chart. So I have this 3-step process. So the question I want you to weigh into in the comments is it more efficient to batch all those subtasks, look at all the faxes, return phone calls all at once, bring my charts up to speed all at once as sub-batches of the same task? Or is it more efficient to take a person, pick up their email, create the prescription, log it in their chart? Which is more effective? That aspect of sub-batching, in this case for my practice, or start to finish finish one task at once. I want you to tell me why. Weigh in on this one. Let me know down in the comments. And why do you think one is more efficient over the other? So, my usual ending. Go ahead and subscribe if this is useful for you. Go ahead and hit the bell and you can hear when I post new ones. As a hint, I'm going to post every Monday. So that makes that kind of a no-brainer. Videos and information are best when shared. Most of all, I want you to think, who else do you know would benefit from this video? And I want you to take the effort to say, hey, you know, this was useful for me. It's also a good way of networking with people. Providing good information that is usable gives them something without the expectation of something in return. So in terms of that notion of sharing, it can be a potent asset in terms of building connections with people. So most of all, share. Again, I post every Monday. This is G.H. Glade for Coaching ADD and the Stimulus-Driven Brain. We'll see you next time. Take care.